All right, we should be live. I'm just going to confirm. Yeah, we're all set. Excellent. Well, some people will join us. We've got a lot to get through today, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. But good morning, everybody, and welcome to another City Live Updates. I'm Jamie Chavez. I'm your host from the Westminster Chamber of Commerce, and we're thrilled to have you with us today. As always, we are here to bring you our latest insights from City Hall, featuring conversations with councilors, mayor pro tem, and other city leaders. And it is your backstage pass to what's happening in Westminster. If this is your first time joining us, thank you for being here. A special welcome to you. If you're on Facebook, you can like and follow our page to get notifications for when we go live in the future. And if you're on YouTube, you can hit subscribe and watch all of our previous broadcasts there as well. Mondays on the broadcast are all about city updates. On Wednesdays, we offer a chance to meet some of the newest members of the chamber and learn about their businesses. This Wednesday at 11 a.m., I'll be live with Arvada Motorsports. And so I'm excited to have them be able to share with you the services that they offer and that they are bringing to the area. And then we also reserve one Friday of the month for county updates featuring Jefferson County Commissioner Rachel Zenzinger. So stay tuned for more information on broader county matters. As you watch the broadcast this morning, please feel free to engage with us, drop your comments, any questions, or simply say hello in the comment section, and we will get to those during the interview. And now finally, a very warm welcome to City Manager Jody Andrews. How are you this morning?
Hey, good morning, Jamie. Doing well, thank you. Thank you for having me here this morning. Very happy to be here and excited to share some things about the city, and looking forward also to tomorrow's event, which we'll talk about in a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Good morning, Dave. Thanks for joining us. And good morning, Eric. Thanks for being here. So as you mentioned, we have our State of the City tomorrow. So so you are actually, you and Mayor Nancy McNally are our keynote speakers for that. So there's a bunch of stuff that you're going to get into tomorrow, but I think that you've got some stuff that you would like to mention today that maybe we won't get into tomorrow, or things that you just want to mention. So we can go ahead and start there.
Great. Thanks, Jamie. Very excited about tomorrow, State of the City. A couple of things that are unique about tomorrow. We've pulled it with your help and leadership, pulled it forward to be earlier in the year. So we used to do it in the middle of the year, and now we're doing it at the beginning of the year. So that will be something different, and I think that will be helpful for a lot of people. It will be hosted by the mayor and I, and joined by our two public safety chiefs, Police Chief Norm Hubbard and Fire Chief Eric Burke. So a public safety focus tomorrow. Please encourage everybody to come and participate, and we'll be there to take questions after the mayor and I speak. And I want to also say that both chiefs will be having a brief presentation to begin as well. So they'll be sharing some updates in their department. So that's a big one for tomorrow. So we won't steal our thunder for tomorrow, but I did want to highlight what we're going to do tomorrow.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. All right. So, okay, so you have a couple things that you wanted to mention before we get into the fun stuff, right?
Yes, thank you. First, a couple of things. For those of you who don't know me, this is my 12th year with the city, most of this time as in senior leadership positions, deputy city manager mostly. I've been city manager now since July of last year. So 6 months as city manager, and really getting into a good flow with the organization, with city council, with the community. I want to reemphasize my top two goals with city council for our work together is the enhanced relationship between city council and staff. And I can report that that's going really well. We've been bringing the department directors into city council meetings, reviewing their departments and their budgets directly with city council in public meetings. So a very transparent process with city council, great sessions, and that will be building blocks for our 2026 budget building process with city council. So that's going really well. The second big focus that I've committed to city council to do is enhance our community engagement efforts. And we're working on that very intensely. That's both at the neighborhood level, as well as our bigger city issues that hit us at a citywide level or at a regional level in some cases. And so that's a dual focus. The leadership team here is very engaged in that work. We're moving deeper into the organization with this work. I just had the opportunity to greet about 24 new city employees last week at their onboarding, and we talked extensively about what it means to engage our community and how to identify our stakeholders, which is something maybe not done so well every time in the past. And so that's a big focus for me, and I wanted to emphasize that. I mentioned the budget. We are laying the building blocks together with City Council by having each department director review their current budget with the council and then moving forward. And I can tell you that the big focus this year is going to be on how to address our fire department needs moving forward, because we had a recent ballot initiative which did not advance. And so we'll be working directly with the community and City Council on that, as well as on our streets and transportation infrastructure. Despite the fact that we've been increasing funding each year for the last number of years, our streets are still needing additional care and attention. So we'll be looking at how to enhance and augment what we're doing for our streets and transportation infrastructure.
Awesome, thank you. Well, it does kind of seem like you just fallen into the position really well. Everything was really seamless. And so congratulations on that. It's been a pleasure to work with you and your team and everybody at the city. So we're just really excited about that partnership. So, yeah.
Thanks, Jamie. I should have mentioned also, along with me being city manager, and this tracks a commitment that goes back a number of years. Chamber of Commerce is a huge partner for us and very, very important. And I just want to reemphasize for all the chamber members and for anyone who's watching who's not a chamber member, please make sure that you talk to Jamie, because it's a critical partnership for the city, and we really leverage off each other to enhance everything that we do in our community with respect to small businesses, mid-size, and our larger businesses as well.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that. Yeah. All right, so since we've got you and Mayor McNally tomorrow doing a keynote, we are wanted to spend some time today doing some kind of get to know Jody activities and get to know Westminster a little better. And so you have some fun things planned for us. I think we're going to start with some fun Westminster facts or trivia. So go ahead and take it away with that.
Sure. Well, in keeping with our public safety focus, I thought of one kind of cool story that relates to our police department. And I don't know that everybody or who knows this, but our police department has a licensed and insured therapy dog. Dog's name is Yukon. So a 4-year-old sheepdog. It's a member of the victim advocates unit for our police department and helps victims of crime manage stress and trauma during a crisis. And if you haven't met Yukon yet, Yukon has an immediate and instant effect on calming you. And it's a really remarkable resource, but a key member, key employee really of our police department. So I thought that was a cool fact to share from a public safety perspective. I don't think we'll be able to have Yukon at the State of the City tomorrow, because I think Yukon's on shift, but anyone can ask questions about Yukon tomorrow if they would like to.
Yeah, that's awesome. I don't know that I've met Yukon, so I can't wait to meet him.
Well, we're going to see if we can set that up. Another thing that came up, and this is not in the public safety realm, but I'm not sure that everybody realizes over at the Promenade that the ice center there features 3 NHL-sized hockey rinks. I know people think of skating and such when you think of the Promenade Ice Center, but really it has 3 NHL-sized hockey rinks, which is quite remarkable for any city, particularly for Westminster. And I would say that it's been the training ground for several former Olympic skaters. And most recently, if you were tracking Mariah Bell, who grew up in Westminster, competed in the 2022 Beijing Olympics and did most of her practice at the ice rinks in the Promenade.
That's awesome. I didn't realize that either. These are great. I also don't think I realized that there were 3 rinks. I just thought there were 2.
Yeah, you have to. Well, let's go back in there and do a tour. It's pretty cool. Another along the lines of
Rich is poking a little fun.
Poking a little fun. Well, we'll get you out there. In terms of here's a story about a cool resident, Westminster resident Ted Eliason. He traveled around the world, visited 56 countries by bike. So that's a total of 51,164 miles, and he spent 1,379 days on the road. So this is our own Westminster resident, Ted. I think he's home now, not sure. But that's a big deal to bike the world.
Yeah, that's kind of amazing. I'm
Yeah.
thinking of the weather he went through.
Yes, 1,300 days, more than 1,300 days.
Yeah. When I was a kid, there was a program called Bike Across America. I don't think it was around for very long, but kids would bike across America, and it was really cool, and they would document it, and it was challenging. So yeah, I can't even imagine. That's incredible.
Yeah, quite something. I mean, I enjoy it when I bike the Big Dry Creek Trail. I find that's quite a physical accomplishment, let alone traveling the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. All right, what else do you have for us?
I wanted to talk about a cool business in Westminster, and this is really remarkable. And I've been to the studio a number of times. So Westminster has its very own sound studio or recording studio, Colorado Sound. And they've served as a recording studio for many national recording artists. And I'll just list some of the ones that people may recognize: D'Angelo, Eminem, Natasha Bedingfield, Macy Gray, Mary Chapin Carpenter. Those are just some examples of some of the major recording artists recorded their albums right here in Westminster. Owner Kevin Klock and his team have also worked with and recorded Stevie Ray Vaughan. The first live internet broadcast from Red Rocks was done by Colorado Sound. That's pretty cool, and that was with Hootie and the Blowfish. Done Mumford and Sons, Nathaniel Ratcliffe, Dave Matthews, and the Wu-Tang Clan. And those were all Red Rocks recordings that Colorado Sound did. So if folks haven't gone there, it's a really cool place to check out. And they also have a website that you can find out more about them. If you're a budding artist in Westminster, I would encourage you to record with Colorado Sound.
Yeah, very cool. And that's in South Westminster, right?
Yes, it is in our historic area. It's a great location, very easy to access. And again, you can check them out on their Colorado Sound website.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have some more trivia?
This one, I don't know if you were going to ask me about another success story in Westminster. This is a big one. And I don't know. I think this one will be familiar to most people with us this morning. But it's a restaurant, and it's the Wishbone. And that's our beloved local family restaurant. And that was recently named one of America's best restaurants. And we recently produced a small business spotlight, and it was viewed by over 50,000 viewers on Facebook, which is probably our record hit for a Facebook posting from the city. And it speaks to how much our community loves Wishbone. If you think about the size of Westminster and that our population is not much more than 118,000, so that almost half of our population clicked on that Facebook story about Wishbone. So kudos to Wishbone for being one of the best restaurants in America. And if you haven't gone, of course, they make great fried chicken.
And where is Wishbone located for people who don't know?
Wishbone's on Federal Avenue, so very easy to get to. Also between 92nd and kind of 104th in that area. So easy to find. Just come in off Federal, and you'll see the sign for Wishbone.
Awesome, cool.
Yep.
Good plug. Well, we have some favorite things that we can jump into, but want to make sure. Do you have any other trivia or fun facts about Westminster before we go into those?
Well, I think those are the most fun things I could come up with this morning. So if you have other questions for me,
yeah. Westminster's a pretty cool place. That was a lot of good. Information, and new stuff that I think people don't know. So thanks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to go into Jody's favorite things in Westminster, and you get to tell us just about you and about your favorite parts of Westminster and places that people need to check out. So we're going to start with favorite coffee shops.
Oh, favorite coffee shops. For me, there's two. My favorite one is Creative Corner in historic Westminster. And if you haven't gone to Creative Corner, that's all I have to say is you need to get into Creative Corner and meet the wonderful people who own it and run it. And also, it's kind of like our second city hall, our town hall. It doesn't matter when you go, you will see really important members of our community in there grabbing a coffee, meeting together. I know that our police and fire professionals will often meet community members there. So it's a great way to get a coffee, something fresh baked, and then also maybe see some some local community members and say hi and have a chat.
Awesome.
My second one is a newer coffee shop, and that is Sweet Bloom in downtown. And if you can get a table there, you can enjoy a sit down. It's a very, very, in fact, Sweet Bloom last year was voted one of the best coffee shops in America. And it's one of our newest additions to the community. It's been in place now at least 2 years, if not 3. So I would encourage people to check out Sweet Bloom. I go there any chance I get when I'm downtown.
Yeah, and they roast their own beans, not at that location, but at another one, which I always appreciate because that is a process. I used to own a coffee bar, so I'm a bit of a coffee snob. And Sweet Bloom does a great job. And I agree with you on Creative Corner as well. I love going down there. So those are both two good picks. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks. What about your favorite restaurants?
My favorite restaurant is that's also a tie. The 2 restaurants that I'm going to say are very close together geographically, and also very, they're part of our new downtown. Famille Restaurant. I was one of the first customers there when it opened in the downtown, and I'm a regular at Famille. And if you haven't checked out Famille, I would really encourage it. It's become one of Westminster's signature, unique restaurants. There's no other Famille in the country. It's its own restaurant, and the food and drink quality is just off the charts. So they do special occasions. I was there recently for that important date in February for a dinner, and just really do a top-notch job. The other one is not very far away, and that's Bonchon, and that's an amazing, also downtown restaurant. And the success of Bonchon is remarkable. And the owner of Bonchon, Henry Lee, is also the proponent and really restaurant wizard who's launching our food and market hall in downtown Westminster, which will be opening, if all goes well, this year. So I'm going to look forward to going to Bonchon more, but also to Henry Lee's new offering, which will be a series of restaurants located in the downtown, right against the plaza beside Vato's Tacos. If you haven't been there yet, that was my close third. But get there, check out Vato's Tacos, and then come back when we do the grand opening for the market hall, the food market.
Yeah, I cannot wait for that. I'm so excited. He's definitely a visionary. He's got a lot going on, and he's bringing a bunch to downtown Westminster, which is amazing. I was actually at Bonchon over the weekend for a meeting, and you can order, because he also owns Alley Tea right next door. So you can order Alley Tea to be delivered to Bonchon while you're eating your Bonchon. So it's a great setup. So yeah, those are some great choices.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned Alley Tea, because that'll be 3 for Henry in our downtown. And he's just got so much, like you said, he's got so much vision and energy, and he knows how to deliver something. And his success ratio is, I think it's unparalleled in the sector. So we're very excited to have him leading our food market hall, and we really can't wait for it to open.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. So our next favorite, what is your favorite way to spend a Saturday in Westminster?
That's a tough question. There are some things at the top of my list that come to mind, but probably right at the very top is a visit to the City Park Fitness Center. And if you haven't gone to City Park and checked out our amenities, there's the larger area, which includes a swimming pool and our pickleball courts and our gym fitness facilities there. But beside it is our fitness center, which has a really remarkable world-class fitness area. And that's where I tend to exercise. You see a lot of family coming and visiting. The fitness center we've got top-notch facilities. The staff are amazing. And for me, you'll find me in there a lot during the weeknights, but also during the weekend. Another close one, I mentioned it earlier, is when the weather permits, which is almost all the time here in Westminster, is cycling along the Big Dry Creek Trail. That's a remarkable trail. It's got some decent grades, especially around Federal and 112th area. And so that's a really good way to spend a Saturday afternoon, is cycling along Big Dry Creek Trail. And then the last thing is, after all that's done and I've tuckered myself out, I'll often catch a movie at Alamo, the theater in downtown Westminster. It has remarkable sound, gets first run movies, it does special event movie nights, and it also does a great job with food that you get served while you're watching the movie, which is very unique in the market. So I'm a big Alamo fan, have been since we opened it.
Yeah, the Alamo is really fun. I enjoy going there as well. Rich has a comment related to previous discussion. Why does Henry put his money into new downtown? He likes to make a profit. Thanks, Henry. Yeah, no, we're excited to have all of his stuff going in down there. So yeah.
Thank you, Rich, for that comment. The people like Henry Lee, I don't know if there are other people like Henry Lee because he's so unique and visionary, but he saw the potential in the downtown very, very early on, and was a very early partner on his own to come in and do Bonchon, Alley T, and the Market Hall. I don't think people really understand what that is or will until it opens, and then you'll really maybe reflect on this conversation and realize how strong Henry and what he's brought to the downtown. But he's brought that on his own. He's identified his own opportunities, and he's come in and made 2 success stories in a row. And I don't doubt at all that his third bigger and biggest effort, which is the Market Hall, will be his most successful endeavor in downtown of all 3.
Yeah, a lot of people are really excited about that. So
Yeah.
that'll be great. Yeah. All right, so let's go on to Jody's favorite community event or festival in Westminster.
I imagine people will be able to predict what I'm going to say, and that is Westy Fest. So our Westy Fest, this year at City Park, it was a cool night, colder night, but our participation was so high, and you see a steady flow of people with families, extended families, people on dates, people from the neighborhood coming out and enjoying it. You have a strong presence of city staff from all departments, and it's a great way to meet a lot of city staff and see them in action and interact with them. The hot air balloons are a huge draw, and they got to go up again this year because it depends on the wind conditions, but they were perfect. So we had the balloons up this year, and so many different booths and activities, often this year Thanksgiving or Halloween related. And so it's a really good event. And for those who haven't gone to Westy Fest, I really recommend it. It's fantastic. And it really showcases the talent of our Parks, Recreation, and Libraries people who put on these events. That if you think of Westy Fest, that's probably one of our top 2, maybe biggest events that we put on. But that team in Westminster puts on over 80 events a year. And Westy Fest is one of the biggest ones and draws the most participation. But if you think about that, that's remarkable, in terms of the frequency and the scope of our, what our Parks, Rec, and Libraries people produce each year. So hands down, I would say it's Westy Fest.
Yeah, Westy, that's one of my favorites too. My kids love it because they get to see the balloons up close, getting all blown up and bright, and it's kind of, at nighttime-ish, so they're bright and glowy, and they love that. And they get to meet the police department and eat all the food and ice cream, and so yeah, it's definitely a nice family event, and definitely love that one. So that's a good one. And I think the last one had something like over 11,000 people, right?
It was, I think we were a little bit surprised because it was a very cold day and evening. We had steady participation through the whole event, and I don't think it was our record participation, but it was very close.
Yeah.
It was a very strong pull this year. Yeah, and we're looking forward again to another strong Westy Fest this year.
Yeah. Another event I love in Westminster, I'm just going to throw mine in there too, is of course the fireworks and the 4th of July celebration. That's always a good one too. So.
Oh, yes, thank you. So at City Park, also on July 4th, the fireworks show, we do continue to get rising participation every year in that. And I think this year was a very, very high number of participants. You really have to get there early if you want to set up a blanket and such. So the good thing about Westminster is because of our geography, if you can't make it to the site for the July 4th fireworks, there are many other locations in the city that are higher up you could see the fireworks. And this year, actually, I tried a different spot, and I got to see them as well, and not actually going into City Park. So,
Yeah.
but the numbers, I wish I had them handy, Jamie, and maybe I'll follow up afterwards what our participation this year was in fireworks, but it was really high.
Yeah, it's a ton of people. It's a huge draw. So yeah, It's very well done.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you could describe Westminster in 3 words, what would those words be?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think the first word I would pick, and this is really unique to Westminster, and for people who've lived in Westminster either their whole lives or in the Front Range or this area, and maybe lived in other cities nearby, Arvada, Thornton, North Glen, Broomfield, Westminster is really unique for community. Our sense of community is strong, and it's deep, and it's historic. It goes back multiple generations, and I would say that community is the first and strongest word that comes to mind when I think about Westminster. Another one, which is very closely related, and it's probably no surprise that this is my second top goal for City Council, is engagement. So this community is engaged, and if for folks who don't regularly go to our City Council meetings or watch them or participate with them as they stream, we get very strong and regular community participation in our council meetings, in any of our town halls that we do, in any of our special events. The sense of engagement in Westminster is very high. And, Jamie, I've worked in 5 different cities in my career in 4 different countries. And even one of them, the city of Vancouver, which was pushing 700,000 people in terms of population, I don't think can touch Westminster in terms of that sense of community and sense of engagement. So, and I say that very sincerely. We have a very engaged community, and I just want people to know that I see that, our leadership here sees that, and we are committed to connecting and staying connected with that engaged community. And then the third thing that comes to mind is quality. Everything in Westminster is about quality of life, quality of core services that we deliver, quality of interactions with our community, whether it's our business community or our residential community, or even our visitor population. And so I would say staff are committed to delivering quality services to all parts of our community, and that the quality of life in Westminster is high. When we do our regular community surveys, we can continually come out at the top for quality of life, and we're committed to maintaining that at the City of Westminster.
Yeah, I would agree with all 3 of those, especially community. I'm from Colorado, but not from this area. So I've been here about 6 years now. And it was one of the first things that I noticed when moving here was just that really strong sense of community, and the way that, people really prop each other up here. And that's just really special. I've lived all over the place, and it feels different here. It's great. So I'll be here forever. Maybe not forever, but for a very long time.
It's very unique. And when we talk to, I meet with almost all new city employees when we hire them and they start work with us. And they really are, unless they're from Westminster and originally, they are very surprised at this in a good way. I mean, just how engaged and constructive our community is with respect to its relationship with the city that provides the services, the people who work for that city, and how we integrate with the people who live here and do business here and visit here. So yeah, it's really, really high. And again, we stay committed to that. I would say if here's another fun statistic. This one is pretty well known, but Westminster is over 1/3 of our land area is parks and open space. And that's remarkable in the Front Range, actually anywhere in the country, to have over 1 in 3 acres of the city, not only not developed, but in a natural or park state. And that contributes immensely to our high quality of life rating. And I think everybody relates who lives here or does business here, right? It's so easy to find a park or an open space to unwind, get in touch with nature, bike, hike, walk, run, whatever it is, you can do it. Just relax and sit on one of our benches and enjoy our wonderful views. It's quite something. So all of that together contributes to what I think of when I think of Westminster as a quality place to live or do business.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much. We did have a question from Eric. more related to road and fire. But Eric, I encourage you to bring that question with you tomorrow to the State of the City, and we'll get that answered for you. But thank you everybody who joined us. And Jody, thanks of course for being here with us today. And we'll see you again tomorrow for the State of the City. And I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their week.
Thank you, Jamie. Thanks, everybody.
Everyone have a good one.